SEiSMiC is one of those monstrous and jargon-heavy and acronym-heavy EU projects, but I'll try and say something about it in these 5 minutes that I have. SEiSMiC, the name, is actually an acronym for Societal Engagement in Science, Mutual Learning in Cities. The first thing you should know about SEiSMiC is that it really should be something about social innovation and urban challenges, because that's the point of it all. It's really about looking at the urban challenges around Europe and finding social innovations that would in some way alleviate them or help meet those challenges. Something about brief as SEiSMiC is presenting itself and sort of saying what we're actually about. SEiSMiC addresses Europe's biggest urban problems by engaging citizens, identifying social innovation needs, and contributing to future urban research policies and research strategies. I'll come back to that, what that means in practice. It builds diverse networks of urban stakeholders to propose effective, widely agreed solutions. And thirdly, it engages with the public in creative ways so that research learns from citizens and vice versa. In terms of organization, in terms of what is actually going on, it looks a bit like this. So it's funded by the EU FP7 program. You all know what the FP7 is, I'm sure, 7th Framework Program. And it's in the context of SWAPs. It's the same thing as what it used to be called SIS. So it's actually science with and for society. So it's the kind of science and society aspect of the FP7 program. It's got 10 participating countries, and then in each country there's one network of sort of stakeholders being involved. And here in Sweden, the Swedish so-called NANET is managed by us, me and Joachim, who are representing Mistra Urban Futures, and then IQS from Stockholm. And the kind of on the national level, the NANET activity revolves around various workshops that we're doing. Actually, 3 of them over the course of the project. And the next one will be held in Gothenburg here on the 15th of March, and we'll be looking at sort of the refugee situation and various social innovations around welcoming refugees. And then the next level, when we sort of take learnings from the national networks, we take that up to kind of transnational context in which we're meeting in something that we call forums, which are always in Brussels then. And usually there we take selected members from the Swedish network of stakeholders with us to the Brussels to have and facilitate this type of transnational learning then. And I should also say that there are like we've had 3 NANET meetings, and then 3 forums that go along with them, and each has a theme. So the first one was about new urban governance, the second one was about new public space, and this next one, upcoming one, is new urban economics or economies, and that, again, like I said, will be linked to the refugee issue. In terms of results and output, it's very much centered around 3 things. So on the one hand, SEiSMiC is about the very process that we're setting up, trying to identify local issues or social challenges, urban challenges, and also looking for innovations that could then be sort of brought up, taken to the forum level, and then hopefully replicated across Europe. There's also this idea that some of the stuff that we do and some of the ideas that we bring to the table, some of the knowledge that we produce will be fed back into the European Commission, especially the DG Innovation, Research and Innovation, and also fed back to the JPI Urban Europe. I should have said that as well. This is a JPI Urban Europe project as well. And the third level in terms of the output is this idea of founding a transnational network of stakeholders in urban research and development. In a sense, essentially kind of thinking that these national networks, these 10 national networks that exist around in these 10 countries will in some way sort of live on as a part of the legacy of the project. If we're thinking about more like proper, more kind of research that will be in some way published, that's probably something that we'll have to get some extra funding for, and there are a number of interesting themes there. Obviously, kind of transdisciplinary learning that actually goes on in these processes, There's this idea of social innovation, urban governance, and how they relate to each other, and then sort of the wider issue of science and democracy within an European project like this one. I'm over time, so I'll stop now. Thank you.